All
Good
right.
morning to Renaissance Cup, and it's a semi-finals weekend between the first match ever. So first match of the lower brackets in the semi-finals weekend. So it's Ranshi versus R1ght4. My name is Yankin, and joining with me today we got Botch. Hello, how are you doing, Botch?
Hi, I'm doing alright. I'm still thinking about what happened last Sunday. I'm still a little sad, but I am in the lower bracket with a bunch of monsters. We've got Ranchi versus R1ght4 here, Seed 4 versus Seed 6. You'd expect this to be like, lower bracket semis maybe. Nope. One of these players is finishing outside the top 8 because our bracket has been really funny. R1ght4 got upset, certainly by seed, definitely by skill, in round of 16 by seed 11. Nurand, so no shame in that really. He essentially lost to like seed 1 or 2 in terms of skill. Ranchi got a much closer upset loss, but still an upset in quarterfinals, losing by tiebreaker to Eloise, seed 5, who is playing 840 later today in the winners bracket. So both players have been on the receiving end of upsets, but both, you can't really blame the other players, just very good. Yeah, this is very unusual for lower bracket match. I think both players are very strong, but definitely in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. However, I do believe to be both of the players are still more of your FC kind, not extremely high, like 1618 guy, so not very high in terms of mechanics, but I would say Ranchi is probably a bit better on some of the more techy stuff, on the more offhand stuff, and R1ght4 is stronger on more of the streamy, consistency, stamina type of stuff. So it should be an interesting match because we do have some Ranchi to me definitely is more of a hard rock guy, and R1ght4 to me is more like a hidden guy. So outside of the more obvious picks, I do believe it's gonna be quite close between the two, and even the obvious picks is not that obvious, especially when both of these players are probably stronger than when R1ght4 is when these two players are very high in terms of their seed. So we can say goodbye to one of them in top 12. I can't believe we're gonna see like 6 seed out before the top 8. So insane things happening. That's what happens when someone trolls the quarterfinals too much.
Several people, really. Seed 2 versus 3 is a very realistic possibility for lower bracket semis. You'd expect that to literally be a winner's bracket match this weekend, but no, it's lower bracket because bracket's been very funny. This is Take. This was the qualifiers gimmick map in TWC 2023, I think, qualifiers. It is, yes. I don't know. There's a lot to this map. R1ght4 the first to miss. Ranchi still FC. Both these players have probably played this before.
And this one probably has more gimmick than the actual gimmick map of this pool, where I would say the standard of 2 years has shifted a lot, because back in 2023, gimmick maps are really just loads of gimmicks inside a singular map, so you can keep switching gimmick and gimmick and gimmick. But in 2026, you talk about more about like mechanics on gimmick map. Like this, to me, this map is even FCable to me, and I cannot say the same about my old map on this week's No More 4.
R1ght4, remembering this listen repeat section, I get the feeling we can tell whose warm up this is. Alright, here we go.
Yes.
This part, not so hard, but can be kind of, I don't know, it's just easy to mess up. And this part is chill.
Yeah, like I mentioned, this is basically a gimmick map with not much mechanics in it. Like the hardest part is probably this if you decide to ult instead of like single tap.
These are okay. There are some 7-note SV cuts there, by the way, which if you're KDDK and ulting it, can make things kind of weird. It's like a cut kind of comes off onto your offhand, pretty unusual. But R1ght4 the KDDK player hitting it. He also hit Cat and Dawn at the same time on a Cat and got away with it. I saw what you did. Like when in the last guy here, you see it just speeds up really fast.
And this is definitely the single tap part of the map. And it's gonna be ending out on warm up, so clearly this is R1ght4's warm up. And with that, R1ght4 probably did not prepare this beforehand, so not surprised to see this difference, but he definitely had played this map before. And yeah, it's our only warm up though, so yeah.
Good score from R1ght4. 3 misses, including an unfortunate one on the last note. This is the only warm-up this match. Ranshi, presumably it's R1ght4's warm-up. Ranshi has nothing to select it for us. So we get into the rolls. Oh my god, 72-7.
Oh no, oh my god.
What do you say it? What do you say it?
And Ranchi chooses to pick first. So R1ght4 will ban first, Ranchi will pick first.
I think R1ght4 ban should be fair, albeit R1ght2 should be gone from the pool. He has been banning out most of the R1ght maps. Instead, he's going to be banning out 3 mod 1. Interesting ban
difficulty, yeah. That makes sense, actually.
Oh yeah, he's also isn't like the best patterning player. We have seen the qualifiers several times. I'm not surprised that it's gone through. So we're not going to be seeing the real Nosk map, weird patterning with high BPM and such. And Ranshi will banning out no more 5, the other streamer of the pool. Not surprised. Mo stream in this match. Let's go.
No mod 6 the pick, yeah, makes sense. This is, I think it's a bit of a DDKK man, not to a crazy degree, but that roll in the middle is pretty tricky to be stable on in KDK, especially if you're nervous. Which, I'm sure there are going to be some nerves involved here. Anyway, this is the funniest song maybe ever. It's like, I don't know, it doesn't sound that abnormal, but it's just funny. It's just funny.
And then we get some fish piling in the map, question mark, which perfectly sums up this map very well. Starting off with the RNG map of the pool, this map is extremely RNG, very short, only 1 minute and 38 seconds, but with some of the hardest patterning ever. And like Watch mentioned, it's kind of benefits towards DDKK players because you kind of just spam the patterns. However, acting this on the match could be very difficult. And yeah, this is planned to be an RNG pick, so I'm kind of surprised we get to see RNG pick at the start of the match, but notoriously, Ranshi is good at these type of stuff, and R1ght4 not so much, so could be a good pick here on paper.
Yeah, R1ght4 I would say is a very strong normal map player. The thing with that is this is the least normal map in the pool. No mistakes from either so far. Just as I'm saying that, both lose their SS. Alright, the fun has not yet begun. The fun is about to begin, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
It comes.
Here's the tech, and it's hard. Both players hitting this. R1ght4 actually able to hit this and catching up a little bit to Ranshi's accuracy. These doubles are brutal. And here we go. Oh, R1ght4 was ready! He hit the roll! Alright, here's the hardest tech in the map. If he can get this, then this is a very real chance for R1ght4. He is, I think, 100 behind Ranshi right now, halfway through the map, but that was the harder half.
However, we're gonna see finisher soon with high FP here. It comes, you might see R1ght4 just stealing on the finish. He did not.
Oh, he's single tapping the 1-3. No, he knows what he's doing. The triples, and he catches them. Oh, more brutal tag. And Ranshi's act just clutching all the way. Never mind, not clutching up.
It's so
oh, but the quads get R1ght4. They're both FC-ing. This is lower bracket, no 1-6. This is absolutely wild. And you can see why these guys did so well in qualifiers and why they shouldn't really be here. Wait. Oh my god. That's like a 2-100 difference, I think. Yeah, 19-21. The two different 9+10s showing up in the players' 100 totals. That's a hell of a close point. I'm sure Ranchi thought that was going to be safer than it was. Amazing scores from both players.
Yeah, absolutely.
R1ght4 has won an undefined. Score difference 0.
That's what happens when he's using Wave Bean. But yeah, that is such a very funny style map. And like Ranchi, I don't think he expected the opponent to actually FC that map. So a really good performance from R1ght4. And he instantly goes for the gimmick map. Fragments of Soul.
Known for doing this kind of thing? I know he was good. He was good against Nurand in round of 16. I remember on No Mod 4. He got tops for the week. I don't remember what he did in quarterfinals. But really, if you learn one, you're probably willing to learn them all with a solid like this. So we could see some crazy stuff here from R1ght4. 220 BPM comfortable for him.
Yeah, especially this is a lot similar to the round of 16 one rather than the quarterfinals one. I can see R1ght4 doing fair on this map. This technically is one of the easiest map in the entire pool. There is mostly just like 1-4 patterning gimmicks and such, and I would say it's the most tireable map in the pool. I'm kind of surprised that No More 6 was so close that no one missed, because I'm expecting that to be more of a missing map. Here it comes. We'll see.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
On his own pick, R1ght4 not looking too ready for the first real overlap of the map. The first part that you kind of have to learn. And Ranshi's still on that SS. And already, just from those misses, it's not a super long map. The lead is already big. Don Kama coming in, both players hitting it.
A bit of an overlap. It looks kind of weird on 4-3, but I think in 16/9 it looks quite normal. Alright, here comes the slowdown sessions with the gimmick, but the gimmick's just hitting cap. Should be all fine from both of these sides.
Oh! Ranshi gets caught.
I say it too soon, and R1ght4 should be taking back the lead because he missed very early on, so the combo advantage really benefits him.
Hits the bar lines. Those come out of nowhere there. Kind of a jump scare, but R1ght4 gonna take a 5k lead into the second half. Still plenty of content to go though. Plenty of time for this to tune back over.
Alright, we're gonna get more of the overlap gimmick. But this is a lot easier because it's just one finishing rather than having the notes behind. But we can see some sessions with notes behind. Here comes another Don Kama, and both sides here is not hard. And here comes the bar line sessions. The only part of this is only the 220 BPM because it's rare to have a gimmick with this high BPM, and it could call off players reading them just like that from Ranshi. And R1ght4 is now 1.5 miss in ahead from Ranshi.
And he's ready for the finisher overlaps this time around. It looks like that was just a bit of an aberration from R1ght4, just a little bit of a brain fart. Sometimes it happens, especially when you're coming into such a learning map in match. You'll just forget the first thing and then think, okay, time to lock in line, and then hit everything else. Okay, I'm this towards the end from right, but it's no big deal. His accuracy is still so much higher. His break count is still so much lower. Misses at the start and the end versus 2 in the middle, really gonna make the difference there. That's cute. Exactly 964k for R1ght4. Oh my god! 0-100s! What is that? You know, I think he had SS on this in practice. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Absolutely scary stuff, man. But also scary stuff on him. He probably has an access like we mentioned. And yeah, that gives a point to R1ght4. Is now Ranshi's picking. He's going for slow hidden against R1ght4. It's surprising.
No!
No!
Against most players, I think this is just, yeah, Ranshi wins, but against R1ght4, I do feel like this might be interesting. Because R1ght4 is good at hidden, and he does have the single tap to play 260 BPM on hidden, but can he do it when the SV is also not high? That could be a different story. I'm saying my mental can't handle this map.
Yeah, but R1ght4 is kind of known as more of a slow SV player. Most of the Dutch players is not known as a hard rock player, not hard rock 2, but he has been doing very well on most of the, actually, like, in the qualifiers, he got top 10 on both of the hidden maps, like, actually better than Ranshi, so it's surprising to see Ranshi going for a map like this, even though we do not have a map that is equivalent to this in the qualifiers, but still, it shows that R1ght4 definitely has a skill to learn this map, and probably benefits in this map in general.
The first one to lose SS.
And I also did not expect this to get picked so early when usually slow hit and always get ignored most match or just ban out.
Traded 100 from each player on the 1-3 there.
Yeah, we got to the Great Peanuts single tap out with some 1/3, some offbeat as well. And R1ght4 handling just perfectly. Look at him go!
Yeah, as the alternating game figured out. And now he has the single tap game figured out. Look at this, just switching playstyles on a dime. You make it dense? Okay, I will just brute force it. Everything starts on one hand. It doesn't matter that it's 260. Ranshi handling this just fine, but R1ght is destroying this map so far. And out of the first PI they go, and they will now get to see for just a second. Hey, the other guy's F-scene. Shit. That means I have to lock in.
Certainly, these scores are kinda great from both sides. And 99.76 still, and 91.35 is actually the one losing it. You do not expect to see them in slow hit. Alright, here comes the slowest part of the entire map. We're gonna get some 120 BPM, and it's easy to drop, especially if this being 1/3. Here's a snapping change, and both hit it!
Thank God, Wright is obliterating this map. This is Ranshi's pick. He's on for a break point. But 10k is still striking distance here. This is not safe until he finishes with the FC, but I think if Wright can get this FC, it's just... there's kind of nothing Ranshi can do.
Before we talk about him, he's usually pretty
And the
nervous.
break!
And you see it again, and after this, we do have a diff spike.
Probably thinking, oh shit, I'm doing it. This is my chance. He might only get
Here it
one
comes.
against an opponent as strong as Ranshi. Alright, here we go. Single tapping for his life. And through the Ki,
so
it looks,
close.
he's looking steady.
Still 9-100 right for. He might just clear this up. He
with the
dropped
accuracy
the
tag.
100.
It's getting closer. Just needs that stamina to hold up for another few seconds, and it does. Alright, don't mess this up.
Oh, he came prepared. He came
Wow!
ready. And he does it.
Unbelievable! It looks like his mental can handle this map. It's a 15-100 FC from R1ght4 to 20 from Ranshi, and both of these guys are playing astonishingly here. And Ranshi saying, are you sure? Are you really sure you can handle this? That is his first FC! What a time to get it. Unbelievable stuff from R1ght4, and suddenly he has a breakpoint advantage. And Ranshi, not on the ropes just yet. A 2-1 lead is not fatal, but he will need to win a R1ght4 pick to get back into this match. That might be easier said than done, given how well Wright's been doing on the other guys' picks.
However, to me, that was more of a R1ght4 pick, honestly. I'm kind of surprised that Hidden 1 started from Ranshi, because R1ght4 to me is more like your regular HD guy, and he's not really a attacker. However, there is still numbers of playable maps left for him, R1ght4. Such stuff like Nomok 3. I do believe that is a pretty good pick here for R1ght4, some of the more speediest stuff. DT2 as well. And there we go, speed has come, it's risk time. Is R1ght4 risking this pick, or he is very confident about this one?
Did he single tap this? No way, right?
292?
Like, that 292, that is...
292?
Pray I hit the dense part. There's no way, right? I mean, single tapping fast is one thing. Like, a lot of people can do it, but with nerves, things change a lot. A lot of players are fine to single tap on their own, but in tourney with nerves, they'll start alternating, they'll shake a little too much and get off the keys, they'll make more mistakes. I think it's one of the most volatile things in the game, in tournaments in particular, is fast single tap. So it's going to be interesting to see what playstyle Wright brings into this. Ranshi, I think, will be solid on this, but speed, skill cap, not really his wheelhouse. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a mistake or two.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The patterning of this match is also kind of weird, because you look at the mapper, it's Jarvis Gaming, and that means it's not the most comfy pattern of all time. And R1ght4 is not really known as like a non-comfy pattern guy.
Okay. He's
So
sending
you
it.
see.
I actually thought for a second he was just going to go and single tap his entire map, but no, he is semi-ulting. He's starting all patterns on the same hand, as far as I can tell. But he is not single tapping the 1-2 notes in between, which is probably good for his wrist. And maybe his heart as well. SS is the intro, Ranshi with only 1/100, so still totally anybody's game. As we get into the first Ki.
Another mono there. Ranshi hits it. It's only mono 1-2 though, but it could catch up your reading if you're not the most happy about it. R1ght4 dropped the field 100, 1/100 from
one.
one side.
Oh, Ranshi!
Oh, Ranshi!
Oh, why are we talking about 4 100s on a map this hard? He did indeed tank. I think it was 3 on just pure single taps there. Gonna be kicking himself a little with that. Might make the difference. As we quickly approach the halfway point, both players still on high accuracy FCs.
Very good play from both. Another hot session here. It comes. The map is gonna get denser and denser, but seems like speed is up. Is not quick enough for both these players to find a break. They're still holding it on.
Oh, Ranchi with a miss. And right hits the entire Ki. Suddenly, it's looking like he can consolidate this breakpoint. He can get his 3-1 lead up on Ranchi. All he needs to do is win his picks.
R1ght4 hits it hard, and he's still 100.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. He can probably afford a miss, although I'm sure that's not what he wants right now. As far as being in his head goes, the thoughts are probably, this guy I'm up against probably at like 3-100 FC. I need to stay locked in. Last Ki, here we go. So much score left to gain. Second 100 from R1ght4, but it doesn't matter.
There's one more chill sessions after this, but the map kinda just doesn't stop. Outside of that 2 seconds chill breakdown, and Ranshi is looking like he's running out of stamina, hitting quite a bit early over there, losing a bit of a finger control. And here's the only break, and here comes the final chorus. R1ght4 is locking it in. He only has the last.
Oh wait, the lockup, but Ranchi treats. And R1ght4 it appears is safe. Ooh, he was on for an unbelievable score there until the last 10 seconds. But I'm sure he's going to see this and think, okay, a win is a win. I'm 3-1 up. And some kind of missed potential there for like a 995 or something truly insane. But Ranchi gonna go with DT1, the tech double time pick. This one is hard. I think this is a very big jump in difficulty, in mechanical difficulty from all the prior DT1s. It's like it's like if the hardest thing in R1ght32 DT1 was a full map.
Yeah.
That's the average difficulty.
This map kind of changed to, I would say, give a preparation to what you see in next few pools DT3 rather than like your regular DT1 where just flat out accuracy. So there's a bit of a tacky stuff, and more tacky stuff is definitely more Ranchi favorite. But looking at No Mod 6, we did not expect R1ght4 to do very well, and he absolutely destroyed this pick.
I feel like he's practiced hard for this.
Yeah, let's see, can he do the same on this map? Only 5.5, so a lot lower overall difficulty compared to the last few weeks, but it's so hard to act this as well.
This is a completely different category of pick, really, to last week's DT1. Last week was essentially pure high OD accuracy challenge with some weird convert style patterns. This is a tech DT. It is totally different. R1ght4 gonna find the first break, and I think this is a safe pick from Ranchi. He held like 1/100 until by 300k score there. He is comfortable on this, even if not so comfortable on Ag.
Yeah, you can see the sheer difficulty of this map really crush out. R1ght4 cannot handle all of those patterns, dropping down to a B. Unfortunately, this is just not a map here for them.
Oh, those bursts are so brutal, and Ranchi is still seeing this.
Yeah, BBKK players probably think this run is easier than last week's DT1, but that's what happens when it comes to non-slot pulling, when you have like a completely different style of a map.
Alright, hardest pattern in the map coming up right here, if you ask me, and both players hit it. R1ght4 misses just after. Ranchi does unfortunately lose the FC at one of the very last hurdles, but it's still going to be an extremely comfortable win of just under 200k for Ranchi. Holds his pick, and it's 2-3 just like that. Short map, I didn't even realize. Minute and a half. Wow.
Yeah, you don't have to here to suffer for crazy amount of time because the sheer difficulty of the map. That's why the SR is not that high, but this is just a pain and an ass to play, and shows that Ranchi, when it comes to more technicality stuff, he's a lot stronger on that side, and gets a second point. So probably gonna be going for more of a harder map approach after seeing what happened to the previous few picks. But yeah, R1ght4 have I do believe they still have some picks to go for. Hidden 2 should be pretty decent for R1ght4, and if you want to go for sheer accuracy, R1ght is also a nice pick for them. But outside of that, I don't think there's much left for R1ght4. DT2 as well, because he's a speed player. I mean, there's some 160 in that map, but it's a lot more comfy compared to what we just saw on the last map.
Oh yeah. I mean, this may be one of those situations where you think someone has less picks than they do because they practiced everything to the point of being good at it. I mean, you saw me versus Nuran last week, you wouldn't have thought I would compete on, say, No Mod 2, but it happened because I practiced the life out of it, and it looks like R1ght4 may be having that kind of performance as well. If you just look at No Mod 6, but it's going to be Hidden 2, Ethercrest. The mid BPM Hidden.
So what I expected from R1ght4's approach. Some of the more HD weak-hearted plays. And there's one slowdown sections in the middle, which is to be the hardest map of the entire pool. Rest is just your run for 1-6 patterning, but with multi 1-6 inside a stream. And it's kind of like your no mod 1 type of stuff, but with hidden, but loads of a lot slower BPM and more offbeats and such. So a pretty good pick here for R1ght4 on paper, but Ranshi is not weak at these type of stuff at all. He is here to match up against R1ght4 and hopefully takes a breakpoint, which with the current picks left, I do not think it's impossible for Ranshi.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're on Hidden, Ranshi probably has a chance. He's very, very strong on mod, almost won the single mod tournament, only losing it because Miniature Lamp was for some reason in this rank-restricted, hidden-specific tournament, which is kind of a fair loss. At that point, you're the best rank-restricted, range, hidden player that exists, because Miniature Lamp had 2-digit mechanics. I don't know why he was in that rank. Either way, what I'm saying is Ranshi is very strong on this mod, and despite it being R1ght4's pick, he's totally not out of this. R1ght is going to be the first to hit 2 100s.
That 200 would not be too big of a deal, because I think there's another very missable map. Actually more missable than Hidden 1. If you have the skill down, so on Hidden 1. Because there's loads of like sudden 1-4-1-8, and just like that, and both players actually hit the first one. It did drop a bit of accuracy though, but still, Ranshi's ahead by quite a bit.
Yeah, not the easiest map to hold back on either. Oh, Ranshi getting caught by the mono 1-6! Maybe this was R1ght4's plan. He saw that and he was like, my opponent is bongo, he is not hitting that. And you know what? If that's the plan, he was not wrong. Some more 1-6 comes in. Both players just fine on this.
Alright, here's another hot pattern, and R1ght4 hits it, drops the number of 100s, but still holds on an FC, and that's all he needs to do because he is on the combo cap right now. But after this, we're gonna be onto the slowdown S3, and with offbeat, and this part is hard to act.
And it looks like R1ght was totally ready for this. Oh my goodness. He's hit the hardest parts already of this slowdown. Ranshi finding a miss on this. And there we go. He absolutely is the hard part. Okay, maybe it's not the hard part. Oh my god. Those mono quad 1-6 were brutal. Catches both players and I don't believe either of them. That was so mean.
Yeah, just like that. Ranshi really struggles on some of the 1-6 happening on this map. After all, it's an MTK/lure map, which means the least DKK friendly type of map ever. And with that being done, R1ght4 is going to be winning out on some of these hard patterns with some inaccuracy as well. It shows that he is just a very strong HD player and takes both of the hiddens of this round quite comfortably on this one even. Hard pattern, catches nobody.
Alright, not quite 1 million score. Wait.
Ah!
Okay, that's fair, that's fair. Thankfully for him, that did not matter. But imagine if it did. No, it's going to be a 60k score win despite the ending mess up from R1ght4. 990k, not quite a million, but still pretty strong. And yeah, Ranshi really struggling on that. Far more than I expected him to be honest.
I think just a sheer map style not favorite towards him.
Yeah, fair enough. It is Renshi's pick, and I'd say he has plenty of options, but at the same time, he also needs to win a R1ght4 pick. That is the challenge here, I think.
I honestly think No Mod 1, No Mod 2, and R1ght2 are all Ranshi maps.
Yeah, I can see it.
3 Mod 2 is probably going to be ignored, and there
Okay,
goes No Mod 2 from Ranshi. Expected. Going for attack, seeing how DT1 works out well, and gonna be doing it again.
The oh god coming in from R1ght4, who earlier was like, well, I don't think I can handle this, about a map he would proceed to like 99.5 FC. So I don't know if we trust his lack of confidence here. Sure. We'll see how it goes.
This was map for Taiko Mapping World Cup, as you can see in the difficulty. According to the Chinese team, this is quarterfinals in Taiko World Cup. I guess they're just that good at tag.
I mean, they certainly are. Chinese tag is hard, and I imagine that's a product of just the region's players being used to tag, being good at tag, that kind of thing.
Tag country.
Yeah.
Like those patternings is not friendly to any playstyle. It's rough to play.
Yep.
And you're gonna see loads more of them in this map. 1.5 as well. 1.6, 1.80 has all sort of snappings and at
Ranchi with another break.
PM.
And suddenly R1ght4 is winning the combo game. They have the exact same accuracy, but some of that is misses from Ranchi, but some of it not misses from R1ght. It's a slightly cleaner miss, I think, than Ranchi had, though, and Ranchi tanking some mech. This is kind of a bloodbath. One of the hardest parts, probably, of any map in the pool going on right now. And as we get to a little bit more of a chill section, they stabilize.
This map goes on forever if you are not the best at tag. You're
Honestly,
gonna have a bit of a break
session. I was expecting a break where they could see the scores, and I was gonna say 5k difference on a break right now would... I'm sure both players would love to know about that. I'm sure their nervous systems would love that one. Alright, here we go.
Alright, this is where we see the 1.5. They are very single tappable, but if you are not ready and don't have the speed, it's very rough to play, especially with some SV slowdowns, and here's the hardest part to read for the entire map.
And R1ght is still hitting this. He needs to hit this. In fact, he probably needs to hit it with as good act as Ranchi, if not better right now, because the lead is basically 0. It just comes down to who can play the ending of the map more confidently. And it looks like it might be Ranchi. He hasn't had a 100 in so long. I think he knows what he has to do, and he's doing it. R1ght4 with more misses. And suddenly this is all Ranchi has to lose. This is the breakpoint back right here, if he can just hold on to this. Or no, this isn't a breakpoint. This is Ranchi's pick.
Yeah.
Still very important that he holds this, though. And it looks like he's gonna.
A very good play from Ranshi. Honestly, this map, 99% this is not easy.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
And honestly, not bad from R1ght4 either. If he takes off that break right at the ending, he actually could have taken this.
Yeah, less 100s from R1ght. And had that combo game going near the end, but just struggles a bit too much with the ending. Ranchi says about to die, and I'm sure both of the players feel the same way right now, because this is a toughie. Both are probably in a kind of situation where, God, what do I pick? Like, I feel like I'm out of stuff. I felt like I'm out of stuff from map 4 of the match. It's one of those where nothing feels safe, and I think even if a bunch of maps felt safe for Ranchi, I think that feeling disappeared entirely as soon as No Mod 6 ended and he saw R1ght4's FC.
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe so. I think Ranshi should have this No Mod 1 and R1ght2 as something that benefits towards him, and Resh probably
This is an
R1ght4.
interesting take.
Absolutely.
I don't know how this is gonna go, but it's No Mod 1. Don't look at the SR. Hey, it's what the players rolled. Isn't that crazy? Not often you can say that. Alright. R1ght4 presumably just offset checking or something. Is back. Oh, Youngin has vanished. Youngin has returned. Hello, Youngin.
Hello.
What happened?
My net is kind of crying itself for some reason.
I see. Alright, well, No Mod 1 gets underway here.
Some of the spike on this map, it's very hard for non-tag players, but
I'd say just
outside
hard.
of that, I think it's fine. Yeah, it's like a hard mechanics map with variety mechanics. It's kind of similar to No Mod 5 last weekend, but I don't know how to say it. It's like No Mod 1 and No Mod 5 mixed.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. There will be 1/6, and it's 220 BPM, so that is cause for concern. That's very fast. Capping like 330. Right, gonna be the first one to hit 100. Obviously, as you can tell, plenty of finishers here. Beat map by R1ght4. He loves his big notes. Just not the other kind.
I also love
the
Big
SS.
Notes. Big Notes is awesome.
They're fun. Stressful. You always think you're gonna miss, but nice. Alright. Both players hitting the high SV stream. Ranshi 1/100, right with 3. I was about to say right with 4, but sadly not the case. And as the 1/6 begins to show itself.
Honestly, the first 800 combo on this map is quite chill, and I would say same difficulty as the last.
You were saying?
Oh, except
no,
that.
That's definitely hard. Ranshi gonna find the miss. Not the person I expected to be breaking. I would have thought that pattern's actually fairly comfy for Bongo, but R1ght4 advantage now. All he needs to do is hold this pick, and he is forcing at least a tiebreaker from Ranshi. Both players hit the second set of 7-puts. Both players hit the back-to-back 1/6. And at the halfway point, this is not a long No Mod 1. R1ght4 with a 10k score lead, but wait, he's dropping some act.
This map is stressful. Super
Gotta
stressful.
lock in on the finishers. Oh my gosh.
Especially with the SV slowdown, it's just feels completely different, and you know that right after this break we will be hitting the skill cap off the map and the fifth spike as well. We're gonna see multi 1/6 and hard 1/6 finisher as well, and they could be rough for your finger control.
7-2, 7-2 difference. We keep seeing the number right now, but it is a 7k score lead for R1ght4. But the hardest part of the map is yet to come. Both players hit the high SV stream again.
And after this part where you hear this screamo, and that's where the hot part hits, we're gonna see some 1-4-1-6 spam with finishers.
Yeah, we got real R1ght4 finishers here, just everywhere you look. You gotta be hitting both keys. Oh, this is brutal. Wait, Ranshi taking the lead on accuracy. Right is still hitting it all, but he's tanking so much. He's the one with the FC. But as long as Ranshi keeps hitting this, he's got this. Oh, the mono! But Ranshi hits it! Perfectly! And R1ght4 misses! And it's going to be a break point for Ranshi. He gets it back on his second last chance. And it's a best of 3 to decide who makes top 8 between seeds 4 and 6. This is unbelievable, Youngin.
What is happening?
An accuracy gap.
We thought R1ght4 would be the one to break, but Ranshi's the one who, but he actually holds on the FC but lower accuracy this time. Kind of surprising outcome, but Ranshi's gonna be the one who takes the point, and now we are onto a 4-4 difference. But I think Ranshi does not know what he wants to pick. However, I think R1ght2 is such a good pick for them. R1ght4 should be on DT2. Everything else just feels like 50-50, man. Will anyone be brave enough to go for flashlight? And I also kind of think that it's more of a Ranshi pick of the pool.
I think so, yeah. Well, Youngin, it looks like the answer is yes. Ranshi gonna go straight in there with Boomslayer. R1ght says, oh no. You know what, when it's all capitals and it's that many O's, I think there might actually be some trouble here for R1ght. I think he was probably hoping that Ranshi avoided this. Ranshi was very good at last week's flashlight. Not totally incredible. Like, not perfect, but certainly got the cleanest score of anyone that weekend. And
yeah,
this one is I'd say similarly difficult.
Or even harder because there's a memorized sessions throughout the map, and it could be hard to play if you don't really know the map too well, and you also need high SV reading as well, because high SV meaning like it's slow SV, but you only can see so less notes. So it's technically a high SV reading map, and R1ght4 is not being known as like a fast reading guy. He's more like a slow HD guy. Let's see how this map turns out.
Yeah. One factor I think is nerves could get to anyone here, but I mean, Flashlight just feels claustrophobic, right? I think it adds to your nerves just by being Flashlight. However, okay, R1ght4 missing immediately a 200 combo, just definitely too fast, or just gets caught by the transition. Ranshi misses. I think both these players have enough experience that we will just see the better player win rather than the less nervous. And Right is not catching up because of that combo score. We are on V1. They're on the exact same accuracy. And R1ght4 loses the lead emphatically with that miss. I don't think it was even on 200 combo yet. That's a big slip up.
Yeah, that's a big slip up from R1ght4, and I think that's terrible news for them, and especially it's only the first part of the map. The second half is even harder.
Yeah, it looks like Ranshi is semi-comfortable even at 200 here, which isn't totally ideal against everyone in the world, but in this matchup, I think that's a confident he's gonna win this unless R1ght4 turns around FCs the rest of the map and we get like 2 more mistakes from Ranshi. It doesn't seem very likely that he's gonna let this one slip away. 50k lead, even bigger than usual with that V1.
Yeah, that's a very good play from Ranshi. Holding a 300 combo on this map is not easy, especially with there's 120 BPM SV from some sections, which we will see in a moment. So holding on FC, pseudo FC on this pick is kind of insane. But we're gonna get into some memorized sessions later on. Let's see, can Ranshi hold on to some of those memorized sessions? Before that, he's gonna be finding a break on the slow SV session.
Yeah, R1ght was actually at 200 combo, able to capitalize a bit on that, shrink the lead a little, but eventually the 200 combo limit gets to him.
That might be doom moment here for R1ght4, and I don't know if he could pair the memorized sessions coming up soon. Alright, here it comes. Oh, Sai hits it!
I don't know. Wait, Ranshi misses! And that's before 200 as well. That might be a big deal. I think it was right on 200. No, can R1ght4 hang on to this transition. Another miss from Ranshi is huge. This is score D1. That means a lot. But R1ght needs to clutch up right now.
Oh, but it's on the fast SV session, which is benefit towards Ranshi. That could have been the perfect opportunity. We still have one more finishing sessions left, and I don't think it's enough for R1ght4. There's no combo, and here it comes. But I don't think there's anything for R1ght4 to come back. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so closer, I'd say closer than expected, but it is going to be a 40k score gap for Ranshi. Gonna take the flashlight pick and move on to match point. 1 map away from top 6's C4, yay! Except it's actually very hard earned. This tournament is going weird. And it's gonna be DT2, yeah, makes sense, if you ask me. It's gonna be the fast DT. Ranshi seemed, if by anything in the poll, a little skill capped by No Mod 3, so running the DT2 to try and give him some trouble makes sense. R1ght4 also very, very good at DT2 style maps. Not his absolutely specialty, but certainly a strength. I think this is the best pick that was left.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he likes to play R1ght at all. Even though I think R1ght could be very close between the two, but DT2 just feels like the better pick here. Speed, raw speed, not raw speed technically because some of the 1.6 is lower BPM than No Mod 3 as well, and I would say that actually benefits Ranshi. However, it's still a speed map, so in general it prefers R1ght4 in that sense, and it's gonna be a very close map.
Looks like both players going to be single tapping this one, like the Chads that they are, R1ght4 assessing the intro. Ranchi with, I think that's 2 100s. Seems a little uncomfortable on the 1/6. Well, not uncomfortable, but just not quite with the burst speed to avoid 100s. Very hard to burst 405 BPM at OD 9.4. That's, when you put it that way, it's like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
So much offense stuff.
Especially with DP after all, it's not going to be a FC battle. It's more about your accuracy, and if you don't have the best speed mechanics of this map, then you will be low accuracy in general.
Yeah, look at right. This is unreal, actually. Holding that 99.4 FC, you could probably be at a combo disadvantage right now and still be winning, as long as it's not too bad. And that's exactly what's happening! He misses the 1-3! Not totally over as long as Ranchi keeps bleeding act like he's been doing, but suddenly R1ght4's not in the driver's seat. Ranchi kind of close to just taking this. This is not a long map, it's under 2 minutes, and Ranchi's act has totally recovered.
It's still so close. It could be anyone's game on the last session.
Oh, the brick! Why do you do this, dude? That's so mean.
Uh-oh.
But
He take this.
one
need the
break from
block
Ranchi could still turn the tide.
There's 1/6 left at the last part of the map, but it might be just a bit too late if Ranchi does not butcher it completely.
Hits
It's
it.
more than 1/6 though. I hit
That's
it.
it!
That's gonna be it.
And oh,
Oh.
my god, the 29-100 FC versus and almost having Ranchi's 100 count, but those 4 misses just a fatal blow there for R1ght4. The 1-3. Ranchi says my act was so bad. I can't read the player names, sorry. I was gonna say, why is Right saying his act was bad when it was good? But no, amazing plays from both. Ranchi frankly surviving what should, by, you know, him being C4, be an easy time, semifinals, lower bracket match 1, not even close to easy. He struggles his way to top 8 and a date with, I believe, Alayar, as Spano Dude has had to forfeit. So Ranchi versus Alayar will be tomorrow.
Yeah, good job from Ranchi here. Lock it in the last second, but it was extremely close in the end. I'm gonna say it's unlucky bracket stuff here, because I would say R1ght4 performance probably better than some of the other 12 seed that we may see in upcoming matches as stated by their seeds. But sometimes you got some bracket shenanigans like that, and unfortunately, it cannot be avoided. But yeah, good job to R1ght4 at least taking 4 points off Ranchi. But Ranchi will be moving on forward to face up against Alia in tomorrow.
Yeah, the lower bracket has gone from stacked to stackeder to just kind of terrifying by semifinals weekend, and you see exactly what I mean by that in this match. Both players producing stuff that wouldn't have been totally out of place, at least on some maps in the winner's bracket, but here they are in losers semis. Ranchi moves on to top 8 to face Alayar. Dragon Max, during the match, actually got a win by default against Vendel, so the only remaining lower bracket round 1 match is going to be me versus Never. That's tomorrow. Our only other match today is going to be A40 versus Eloise, which is in the winner's bracket. That's seed 1 versus 5 at 16 UTC. That's about 2 hours from now. That's our last match of the day. So we'll catch you there.
See you then. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching.